Welcome to our comprehensive guide on developing augmented reality apps aimed at enhancing environmental awareness. In this video, we'll walk you through the entire process of building an AR app that educates users about local flora, fauna, and environmental issues. Let's get started. First, let's outline what we will cover in this tutorial. We'll start with some foundational concepts, discuss the tools we'll be using, and then dive into the coding phase. To build our AR application, we will use the following technologies: Android Studio for development, ARCore for augmented reality functionality, and Java as our primary programming language. Before you begin, make sure you have the following installations: Android Studio, Android SDK, and ARCore. You can find detailed instructions for installing these tools in the documentation provided by Google. Now, let's create a new project in Android Studio. Open Android Studio and select New Project. Choose Empty Activity as your template and click Next. Name your application something memorable like Eco-Aware AR. Set your package name and make sure to select Java as the language. Set the minimum API level to 24, which is required for ARCore. Once your project is created, make sure to add the necessary dependencies for ARCore. Open the build.gradle file for the app module. Don't forget to sync your project after adding the ARCore dependency. This process may take a few moments. Next, let's define the permissions we need for our app. Open the Android manifest.xml file and declare camera permission. Now we need to add the AR session configurations. Let's set up our main activity by creating a new class file named mainActivity.java. In this code, we initialize the AR session and configure it to handle AR features. You'll also want to create a layout for your main activity. Create a new XML layout file named activity_main.xml. Let's implement logic to start the AR session when the application is launched. In mainActivity.java, add the following code to handle the lifecycle of the AR session. At this stage, we have most of the groundwork laid out. Our app can now initiate an AR session, but we need to display some environmental information. For that, let's set up a simple UI element such as a text view to show details about the AR content. Next, let's implement functionality to detect different environmental elements. We'll need to monitor the movement and the surroundings of the camera. We will add logic to add AR objects based on the user's location. In this step, let's create a database of plants, animals, and environmental issues affecting the user's locality. You can use a simple JSON file for this data. Create a file named environmental_data.json. Next, we will parse this JSON file in our app to dynamically display information on the AR overlay. We'll use the JSON library to handle JSON. First, add this dependency in your build.gradle file. Sync your project again, and now let's create a model class for the species data. Now let's implement a method to read the JSON file and parse it into our species objects. This will allow us to access data during our AR session. With our species data loaded, we can now add functionality to create AR markers that display the species information when the user points their device towards them. You can use 3D models for the display or simple icons. Let's add a method to handle AR updates where we'll check if the user is near a location of interest and display the relevant information. This will enhance the educational aspect of our app. We will now configure the AR session to allocate resources and prepare our environment. It's essential to correctly display our AR elements based on the current state of the session. To make the application visually appealing, you might want to add animations or transitions when displaying information. This could be achieved using third-party libraries like Lottie. Incorporating sound can also enhance user experience. You may want to play ambient sound samples or sound effects related to different species when users interact with markers. As we encourage environmental awareness, consider how you can work with local conservation groups to incorporate real-world data on endangered species or significant environmental issues that can be addressed. Testing our AR application is vital for ensuring stability and performance. Make sure to run on real devices to test AR functionalities thoroughly. Before we wrap up, let's discuss how you can improve this project. Think about integrating social sharing features so users can share their finds with friends, or implementing gamified elements like challenges or quizzes. As a summary, in this tutorial, We covered the tools you need, the core concepts, and the practical coding necessary to create an AR environmental awareness application. Thank you for joining this journey into the world of AR development. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more tutorials like this. If you have any questions or suggestions, drop a comment below. Until next time, keep coding and stay environmentally aware.